Okay, what specifically in her policies make you say I'm going to vote for her over Trump?
You know, I got to be honest, because she's not Trump.
She's very listed in
That was the
policy.
realest she ever said the whole night. Yo, by the way, I agree with you 100%. I think it's both sides of the same coin. But to your response, it is rigged. So no matter what happens, it is
That's
rigged.
what I'm saying. So what's the point? Like, you
Yeah,
vote
I
for
feel
my
like they're
Green Party
just
in peace.
puppets
It's all
for
a
both
psyop.
of the parties.
It's all planned.
Yeah.
Like everything is like it's like a fucking video game.
But you know what's funny? You mentioned that it's because you don't like Trump. And that's the majority of women's vote towards Kamala is because they don't like Trump.
But a dislike of Trump is a little reductionist, you know? Like, I really, really think that Trump is one of the worst politicians.
Could somebody name one of Kamala's policies?
And that's my problem with her.
I mean,
One of Kamala's policies from this administration,
Yeah.
the Inflation Reduction Act,
Okay, one more.
the
just asked for
Bipartisan
one.
Infrastructure Act.
Wait, 3 more.
Wait. Okay. That's good. One more.
Fuck. Well, once she.
I'm impressed, girl. I'm impressed.
Thank you.
The point is that like nobody really knows her policies. They just know what she's saying. That
Exactly.
sounds
I
good.
feel like-
Well, to be
100%.
fair, she's a vice president. You know, like when you're talking about the progress
think
of this
that's an excuse.
administration. Well, what is the progress of the vice president?
I just feel like there's so much going on in the world, which I won't speak on specifically, but for you to have Megan Thee Stallion performing when there's real things to speak about
Yeah,
is kind of
true.
Yeah.
bullshit. What the fuck are you going
So
Twerking?
Green. Whap.
like what the hell is going on?
respect
Like,
that. I can
and
respect
as a black woman, that's just not what I depicted.
So
on
hold
my
on.
first
For those of
email
you that are
resume.
voting for Kamala Harris, I just want to ask you a question. Do you not care about World War III? Does it not matter to you?
I mean, ultimately, I feel like we're not
We all
left with
care.
a lot of decisions to make.
I love
we're
the
not in
country.
Like, what are we
Too
supposed to
much.
do
Yeah.
if you don't want to? If you don't want Trump to
Put
win,
girls
who
to
should
war.
you vote
Put
for?
girls
You
to
know,
war.
you know what, you know what this country,
Give us the
you know what this country can do.
Give the draft.
If we had a 20% turnout, that would collapse the system. If people just stayed home and didn't vote, that's all you have to do is just not do it.
So everybody stay
It's really
home and
bullshit.
don't vote. Let's do this together.
That would
So then why even have the
I
amendment?
just feel
that's
like
the
that's
only way-
weaponized incompetence.
That's the only way for change to ever happen in this country.
That just feels
we
like
should vote for
weaponized
you. What are you
incompetence on a
running?
macro
Wouldn't that
level,
just
does
give
it
more
not?
power?
When are you running? Because I feel like I'd vote for you.
I'd vote for you.
I honestly would.
I'm flattered, but listen, I would nenever be allowed to run. That's the
Why
thing.
not?
Because the current system doesn't allow for real opposition. It doesn't allow for actual people who stand on anything except serving the
Abiding
status
by
quo.
exactly.
Exactly.
What the fuck
So
is
that's
going
why
on.
you're still stuck in between a Republican and
Right, but
Democratic Party and choosing
but
a
listen,
puppet between the two.
instead of buying into the scam and voting for Kamala and thinking, oh, Kamala this, Kamala that, what you could at least do is prepare yourself for the readiness to accept the collapse of the system, which is inevitable, by the way.
But I think you
But
can
how
do
are they
both.
trying? How are they trying to prolong it? Well, I'll tell you the
Are you
strategy.
saying the collapse of democracy specifically?
The collapse of the current U.S. regime and this we're 30 trillion in debt. It's totally unsustainable.
Right, and that's the reason for the collapse because
Yeah,
the money.
it's
It's all about money
the
at the end of
simplest
the
way
day.
to put it, right? But here's the thing: what are they doing to buy themselves time? They're capturing people's minds mentally, and they're exploiting the resentment thing between men and women. And so Kamala is this figurehead. And listen, all women and men, it's just a universal thing. They have personal resentments and grievances toward the other sex. Why? Because of their actual experiences. Everyone has an ex. Everybody has this, some relationships problem. Maybe they have some other
It's
problem.
inherent in a
It's inherent. It's
society.
well, no, it's human nature.
Now you got you.
It's human nature that men and women will develop some kind of degree of resentment based on their relationship history and whatever, right?
Yeah, regardless.
Well, that's the thing. That doesn't need to become that huge. It's always going to be there. So what the system is doing is it's exploiting that, particularly among young women, and it's making Trump the face of your ex-boyfriend. It's making him the face of all the men you've ever resented in your life who are preventing everything from you, and Kamala the face of the savior and of empowerment of all women.
Let me ask a real question.
And
quick
just
question
all
for
a
you girls.
distraction.
It's a total
It's
scam.
all a distraction.
Ladies, would it be fair to say that a lot of you guys are picking Kamala Harris because she affords more reproductive rights? Is that would that be fair to say?
Honestly,
That's one
no.
of the- is that
I
one
would
of
say
the
not
reasons?
only
Picking her, so.
Kamala's a moderate, Joe's a moderate. None of them
Okay.
give a shit about my
But is a big part of it,
uterus.
but is a big part of it because of they're more
Not
lax,
only
I guess, on
reproductive
I
reproductive
don't
rights,
think
but
that she's going to
female-
lock in on reproductive rights. So I guess not, because I don't think
don't
that
think
she's
so?
going to lock in on that. But I think that
That's been
voting
her main
Trump.
campaigning.
But she
point,
doesn't
though.
have that much
Her
power.
reproductive rights,
Yeah, they
like
literally-
codifying Roe v. Wade. I don't think they're going to do
I mean,
it.
she's not all of Congress.
Like she says that, but Joe Biden said that too, that they were going to codify Roe v.
Yeah.
Wade, and they
Yeah,
didn't.
like they've been campaigning on that.
Exactly. So I just don't think it's going to
I
happen.
feel like everything
So
that
why-
she's saying
why
is
vote
for the
for her then?
vote.
because I'm trying to pick the lesser of two evils. I don't believe in not voting, and I don't believe in voting Green Party, or third party in general.
And then so for the rest of you, would it be fair to say that you guys are voting more because of reproductive reasons? Because of reviews on reproductive rights? She's more lax, part of it?
Or
No,
what makes
I
her
would
the
say
lesser
I'm the
evil?
same thing with Gia. I'm the same thing with Gia
Lesser
saying that
So
it's
what makes her
lesser than
lesser?
an evil.
What makes her lesser?
Hold on, real quick. In your opinion, is he a bad person, Trump?
yes.
A criminal? Bad
Yes.
person?
Yes.
That's what it is, bro.
He's a felon.
He's been painted as
But he is
bad
a felon,
person.
He's
though.
a felon.
All right, I got one last question
And
for
a
the girls.
rapist.
What's more important?
Great.
Yeah, he's definitely a
what's more,
molester. He takes advantage
okay,
of-
just be quiet for 2 seconds. What's more important, reproductive rights or foreign conflict? I'll ask you this. What's more important?
Reproductive rights is a human right, so I would say that's definitely a
I'm
major.
sorry, that's fine.
Can she answer real fast?
Say it, babe.
Yeah. Which one is more important, foreign conflict or reproductive rights?
Reproductive rights.
Okay. What about you?
Reproductive right.
Okay. What about you?
Reproductive rights.
Sure. What about you?
Don't do it, girl.
No, let her
I
answer.
see you cooking.
What
It's like,
the
do
hell?
we go to
Foreign
war
co-
or do
let
we
her-
have
let her answer.
abortions?
Foreign conflict or reproductive
What's more
rights?
important? Honestly, I would say foreign conflict because war.
Based.
Okay. What about you?
Don't get mad at me, but foreign conflict.
You think foreign conflict is more important than reproductive rights?
Well, she understands.
Her money.
No, it's just listen.
Her background,
I'll tell
bro.
you one thing. Not even that. I personally don't get mad at me, women. I've seen a lot of women that are clients of mine that literally get an abortion every other fucking month,
We know.
and it's a sin. And I understand that. Please don't get mad
Hold
at
on,
me,
let me
women.
get
I'm
other girls. Let me get
pro-female. I
real
love
fast.
y'all.
Let me get everybody else. Reproductive rights or
But
foreign
I have
conflict?
to finish
Reproductive
my
rights.
point.
Okay, reproductive rights.
Reproductive rights.
Foreign conflict.
Why do you say foreign conflict?
Because I just believe with the wars and everything.
Hundreds of
that-
thousands of people dying.
Okay. What about you?
Millions,
Foreign
actually.
conflicts or reproductive rights? What's more important,
This too
in your
hard.
opinion?
Too hard, bro.
I think Joe Biden already clarified that reproductive rights
Okay,
should be
reproductive
like
rights.
one.
Okay.
Don't be mad at me.
Do you want to finish what you were saying, Al?
We're not
Don't
mad
be
at
mad
all,
at me.
baby.
I can literally solve this for you right now.
Okay.
I'll solve it for you right now.
Let's hear it.
If let's say a underage girl was raped or something, God
Whoa.
forbid,
Great.
and they needed to do an abortion, I would say take that fetus out of her and put it into
So
someone who can't carry.
to be clear, at no
Put it into
point,
someone who
at
cannot
no
carry.
point in the recent history of abortion laws in
Was
the
it
United
for any
States
rapes?
was this ever called into question.
Because that's why somebody
only
told
thing-
me
the only
what if
thing that
someone was
happened-
Ever
raped.
called into question.
That's the repeal of Roe v. Wade harmed, yes, the extremely liberal laws that some states did have, maybe. But if those states continue to be liberal, they can keep those on the books. But anyway, look, here's what I wanted to ask you, because you chose reproductive rights, right?
Yeah.
So, to you,
Most of them did.
the extremely liberal abortion rights that Roe v. Wade enforced on the whole country, those are more important to you than hundreds of thousands of children getting blown up and dying?
I feel like the way you phrase that question is
Yeah,
completely-
Yeah,
She doesn't
very
think-
loaded.
she's very on our
It's
side.
a bad
But I
faith
feel like that's the-
question.
When
reason-
we're talking about foreign
But I
conflict,
just want to clarify
we're not talking
the
about
specific Roe v. Wade
Yeah.
situation that's going on, right?
Okay.
So what I want to identify is the amount of women who have lost their life due to the fact
and
of
it's
a failed
nothing.
pregnancy.
It's nothing close
not
to the
due
wars.
to an abortion.
Nothing close to the wars.
Of course it's not.
That's why
but
they're
it's a
such
human
different-
right.
It's still, like,
every
their
human
lives.
should have the ability to have
And
access
you know
to
what else
medical
is a human
care.
right? You know what else is a human right?
to live.
That's
grow
not my
up and
country.
be-
Wait,
I'm
when
not
you-
a citizen there. I understand
So
that
you
war
don't-
is
so-
impacting,
okay,
but at
so
the same time, the United
that's
States
very
is a
interesting.
juggernaut in the entire
Interesting.
global capital. They have major influence over these small countries.
Is it still your country if your brothers and the men in your life are being sent to go
Unfortunately,
die in war?
I am a citizen here in the United States.
Is it?
Of America.
How
Of
about
America.
do you not care if your fellow male citizens
They're
are
gonna
being
ask
sent to
them
die?
enlist.
Well, let me
They're
ask you,
gonna
when was
force
the
them.
last time that for a draft, when was the last time that every United States citizen who was a man over the age of 18 was drafted and legally
So
had to go?
when we fought the Vietnam War, we had a draft, and Vietnam was a small country, and
When
we were
was
fighting
Vietnam?
we were fighting in jungles. The next war we're going to have is World War III.
Well, when was Vietnam?
Which is going to be against Russia, China, Iran, and you bet your ass they're going to start bringing the draft back. There's no other way
But what I'm
around it.
saying specifically
So-
is that you're not highlighting the issue that it's a major human rights violation for
What-
medical
what-
care.
what
People
is-
that's in
what-
charge to fight them
I wanna-
wars.
look,
But when
That's
you
what we
say
have.
foreign
I wanna-
conflict,
Army.
you're talking specifically about
And
war?
I'm not
I'm
a
talking about the foreign policy agenda.
Because that's a loaded question, right?
Right.
When you
Yes,
say which is
I was
more
referring to
important.
war when I asked that
One
question.
thing was specific
Thank you.
and one
I was
thing
referring to
was very broad.
Right.
Hold on. So
And also, that's a domestic issue versus a global issue.
Don't you think
It's domestic versus global.
don't you think it's kind of worrying?
Why would you compare domestic issue
I'm not
over a
listen,
global
I'm not
issue?
here to bully you and isolate you. But there are many young women who think like you do, and don't you think we should be a little worried that so many people are gibbering about human rights abortion in the face of nuclear war?
I didn't say human
more
rights and
important?
But again,
abortion.
it's a
I'm
non
talking
sequitur.
How
about.
could you say that?
Well,
what you're,
can you
how
tell
could
me
you say
about-
abortion rights are more important than
Did I say
preventing
Because you
nuclear
forced
war?
her into
I
that
did
position
not
with your
say-
loaded question.
Can I speak real quick?
Okay, but
I did not
clarify
say
what you
I
mean.
did
wanted
not
this,
say
right?
abortion
Clarify what
rights.
you
You
mean.
said reproductive rights. What happens in a reproductive system? You can become pregnant. What happens if
Okay.
you have an ectopic pregnancy
Uterine
and
cancer.
your life is on the line and the only thing that's going to save your life is an abortion? But guess what? It's illegal in your state. And you have to fly and get in a helicopter, go a couple states over just to get the
co-hanger.
medical attention that you need. What happens if you're bleeding out and the doctor tells you the only way that he can save your life and
Extremes.
the child's life is if he pulls that child
What
out at
happens
that
if you
moment in
get
time?
bombed?
Oh, that's not an extreme. That's not an extreme. We don't see.
Oh,
We can go.
okay,
We
what's the
can go
last time the
extreme to
United
extreme.
States, besides 9/11, when's the last time there was a domestic terrorist attack besides 9/11?
The next world war isn't going to be a domestic terrorist attack.
Okay, but don't
It's
you
going to be a
understand that this
global
is a
front war.
domestic issue? It's not a global issue.
The foreign policy agenda
A
that's in
foreign
place right now.
policy is completely different
two
than
different
human
things.
rights.
Yeah, domestic
Human rights in the
policy.
United States is completely
Like, it
different.
was,
Those are
Hold on.
two different
Hold on. Any questions?
You know what's scary? You know what's scary? Haz?
Give me a second.
You're gonna
give
be
me a,
voting.
Give me a second.
That's scary.
Give me,
Go ahead.
What's scary
give
about
me a
that?
second.
Fresh?
Give me a second.
Listen.
What's scary?
The money we spent on Vietnam bankrupted us, and is why we've.
Why were we even in the Vietnam War?
We should have never.
Why
been
were we
anywhere.
even there?
gone
We
anywhere.
needed to take our fat ass nose
No,
out.
I'll tell you. I'll
The
tell
only
you.
reason we are in
It
these
was
wars
for
and
it was for
participating in
abortions
them.
as human rights.
no
That's
respect,
why
no
we
respect
didn't
to
have
any
this
of the
much.
veterans who lost their lives and
No
who
disrespect.
You don't care.
who contributed.
Right,
I
you
do.
don't care about
I do. I have
don't care.
veterans
You
in my
just
family.
said that you think.
I have
but you
veterans
just.
in my family. Anyone who puts their life down for their country, I'm gonna respect you. You're gonna have honor according to your family
You just
because you're
chose
putting your principles
reproductive
down.
rights
No,
over
no, no.
foreign policy.
How does that relate to having pride and respect
I gotta
for
throw it back to the
veterans?
beginning.
Listen,
that was
look.
not the question that y'all
Are they
asked.
All right, hold on.
surviving and fighting
Now, all right,
for human rights?
let's rephrase the question, because you know what? I want everyone to get a
Sorry.
second
It
chance.
was reproductive
I'm not-
rights
listen.
versus foreign policy,
Foreign
not
conflict.
abortion
Listen,
versus
listen,
war.
look,
You know what he
look,
said?
Foreign
look.
conflict.
I'm not here to bully y'all. I want to give you a second chance.
I feel like we're having a great
Do you-
debate.
Yeah, this is a
Do
good
you-
debate.
yeah, that's why I want to give you a second
Yeah.
chance. So, what do you think is a more pressing and urgent matter? The current foreign policy orientation of the U.S. government or reproductive rights? Go ahead.
Again, like this is just such a weird question where the
Which
two
one?
don't compare to each other. You're talking about
So you
one
don't want to
single.
answer.
Okay, let me answer. Let me answer.
Go,
You're talking
go.
about one domestic policy issue versus a conglomerate of foreign
What-
policy
all right,
issues.
let me ask you a better question.
What war
What
are
is
you
more-
talking about? What foreign conflict are you referring to?
So, for example, we've pumped hundreds of billions of dollars into Ukraine to fight Russia. So we're escalating that war, and we're going to get involved there.
Should the United States focus more on domestic reproductive issues or the Ukraine war? Is that your question?
Let me give you an
Is that
example.
your question?
Let's say Trump was actually, I don't think he will, but let's say he's actually going to end that war, and he's going to end NATO's aggression. He's going to end the United States' escalation of the foreign wars.
He's
but
not.
Gonna, okay, but, right. But he's going to completely get rid of reproductive. Which one's more important to you?
Well, you're asking me these hypotheticals based on more hypotheticals that don't apply.
all I'm trying
You
to
can say they're
emphasize.
both important.
Listen,
they're both
no,
important.
but
both
They're
important.
both important.
but
But
they're not
here's-
both important.
they're not
Not one
related.
is.
Here's what I'm trying to say though. It's not even fucking close.
That's what you're trying to get somebody to say, but that doesn't make it true.
But it is true. The foreign policy direction of our government is a million times more important to be concerned about.
Again, singular
than
domestic
reproductive rights.
policy issue versus a conglomerate of foreign
No.
conflicts.
It's a small single policy issue that barely has any
Small
impact on
single
anything.
policy issue, the issue
versus,
of abortion.
versus the
issue
entire.
of abortion
barely
is a small
impacts
single
everyone?
policy
That's my question.
issue.
Because what we're talking about is the fate not only of America as a whole, but all of humanity, a nuclear war. That's way more important.
But you're talking about the issue of abortion being a small single policy issue. One
it's a nothing
policy.
burger. It's
One
nothing
policy.
Burger. It's a nothing burger issue.
Okay, explain that.
It doesn't matter.
What the fuck?
It doesn't. So you're not going to explain it because you can't explain it.
Because in the long term view of things, as far as how screwed we are right now as a country,
Oh my God, here you go.
It should
Here
be
you go.
so low on the list of priorities that someone in Ohio.
So why would you put those
is
two
going-
up together?
Yeah, why
and
would you
tell
put
us
those
to
two-
compare
just to be
them to
like,
each
you
other?
shouldn't give
You
a
just
fuck about
put
those
those into
begin
that
with.
box
Because-
there that you were
We're
trying
leaders
to.
that can take over these decisions. We are business owners, entrepreneur people, like just helping to build the economy. We cannot make decisions over these big ass questions that you're asking. It's like
Well,
it
you
doesn't
could,
make no
you could
sense.
start.
You can't do that, Haz.
You could start by
Yeah.
not voting for Kamala Harris.
I
I
agree.
mean,
start
if
with
that's what
that.
you want, Haas, if that's what you really, really want.
I agree.
Look, I'm flattered, but it's not about me. This is about as many people as I can reach. That the thing we should be focused on, if we're going to think about politics right now, if we have to, you don't have to think about politics.
I
but
love
if,
to think about politics.
If you're going to spend your time thinking about politics, stop getting trapped in these nothing
Just
burger
because you
issues.
say it's a single policy issue doesn't mean it is, Haas. It's obviously a multi-policy
We had a discussion,
issue.
right, on Monday about the news was happening in the world. We spoke about the voting of men and women, right? And we brought up what's going to happen when they vote from emotions and feelings. They're going to say, you know what, Kamala's a woman. She's defending my rights to have abortion, all this stuff. Vote for her just off of that policy alone. Granted, though, he's saying on a larger scale, it is a nuclear war. You know what's going to happen to us? A third of us might die.
Yeah.
A third of us.
The
of the
world.
population. Which means abortion is a serious topic, of course.
It is a serious
but
topic.
a third of the earth dying from nukes is way more
So
important.
why did you guys pigeonhole us into that question
Because
to
the
begin with?
campaigns
When you
are-
said
Hold on,
which
hold
is
on.
more
Myra,
important?
to be
Hold on,
fair,
which-
my-
hold on.
Did you guys vote
Hold
for
on.
Kamala
Hold
just
on,
based
so-
on
so
abortion?
the
Which is
current-
more important,
the current
abortion or
campaigns
war?
are being toted against abortion and foreign policy. That's what it
Exactly,
is.
but they also, do you see
Abortion?
the fact and the time that they controlled this
Yeah, and that would be part
conversation?
of the reason.
So hold on.
And that we're
happening right now.
literally
No,
talking
listen,
about
listen.
this because it is happening
Hold on,
right
hold on.
now.
To be clear, though,
Yeah.
to be clear, let's set the record straight. Myron asked you, what do you think is more important, foreign conflict or reproductive
That's
rights?
what I said, yeah.
You voluntarily said
Most women said reproductive rights.
reproductive rights. So I was interested in, kind of baffled at that, and I wanted
Because-
to
right,
press you on it
of
to see
course.
why you made that
Because
choice.
the main reason, if we're keeping it basic and generalized, as if we're not on the verge of a nuclear war, right?
Okay,
if
so-
we're going to keep it basic and generalized, I would say establishing human rights, equal human rights for every United States citizen is necessary before even thinking about foreign
All right, let me ask you a
conflict.
question. Are waging unconstitutional wars a violation of our rights in any way?
Waging unconstitutional
Yes.
wars. Give
Yeah.
me an example, for example.
Iraq War.
Okay.
Yes.
I would say specifically it is unconstitutional.
Okay.
Yes.
Do you think that it's in any way a violation of our rights, our human rights as American citizens, when our government and the people who rule us are trying to drive us into these huge conflicts and escalate?
100%.
100%.
All
Yeah.
those are the people that we love who are going to a war that they don't have
So
to be in.
so the
That we don't
foreign
even
foreign
support.
conflicts started and waged by the United States violate our human rights, right?
100%, and I would say there's even more
So why
political.
is that violation of human rights less important than reproductive
Because you
rights?
guys are trying
Because
to
why are you
create
trying
a
to compare
competition.
You're putting
that
them
doesn't
together when they're
exist.
both
Why did you answer Myron in the first place? Then?
Because
you didn't
the
have to
question
answer.
was asked
because I
differently.
genuinely feel like that.
Which are you more personally
All right,
concerned
I wanna-
with is
okay,
different
listen.
than what is the more important
Hold on,
policy
hold
of
on.
the United States government.
Let's get the record clear. Myron asked you foreign conflict, reproductive rights. You choose reproductive rights. You say, well, hold on. You said, I asked why. And then you go, because reproductive rights are a human right.
I said that.
Now I'm asking you.
She
I
said
said
that.
Yeah. Yeah, you said that. And then now I'm asking you, is it not a violation of our human rights that these foreign conflicts are being started? And you said yes. So where is the logic?
Where's your
There is no logic, bro. There's nothing there.
America needs to stop sticking her dick into everyone's country.
Is
Get
that
the
it's
hell out.
relating
That's
back
all.
to
Stop.
big government in the personal decisions of your life. They are going to at some point they are going to affect a
Yeah, these
specific
issues
decision
are
within
actually
your
more
life,
closely
and it's
related than
actually
you thought.
very important. Just like with reproductive issues, it's the same thing with and when it comes to
so it's
human
the same,
rights.
or one is more important now?
Look, I said it's the same thing when it comes to human rights as a United States citizen for all.
Why do you guys try to
Reproductive issues
pigeonhole these
should
questions?
be for everyone.
Your final.
No,
I have given you both so many life rafts to get yourself out of this
Nobody
hole.
needed a life draft from you, Haas. You're not smarter
is
than
my
anybody at this
opinion.
table.
That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. So your final answer.
We're all keeping up, are we not? We're good, Haas.
Yes.
Your final.
on,
So your
then.
final. You're on
This
this
is a
topic.
marathon.
On this
You're
topic.
at the starting line.
On this
Go ahead.
topic, your final answer is that actually I reject the question entirely. Is that your final answer? That you think the
What?
question itself that
The
Myra
question
posed
keeps
was wrong?
changing. The context of the question keeps
I think
changing.
it's-
The specifics of the question
Look,
keeps
I
changing.
will stand on the fact
How did
that
the question
human.
change? Reproductive rights versus foreign conflict. What
We
changed?
both said our
when you
answers.
say
You're not happy with
because-
our answers
because
and a
when you
justified
say-
response.
you say
I don't.
You don't
I
agree.
don't think you really thought this out. That's what I think.
I don't think that you understand that women also have human rights. We should have the same human rights
Not
as
us.
you.
Okay,
When it comes to
fine.
reproductivity.
But I also think that women who are getting bombed and killed have human rights as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Real
so
fast.
does she.
Hold on, let me
Everybody's
ask this.
talking about
Let me ask this. Hold on. For all the ladies here, raise up hands. Do you think voting is a right? The ability to vote is a right. Raise up hands. It's a right. All of you agree that it's a right?
If it's a right for everybody, it should be a
Yeah,
right
it's
for women.
a right for.
Yes.
Okay, so it is. You guys look at voting as a right. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But honestly, after
All
this
right.
end of this conversation, as far as like getting specifically as what you meant, as far as like global conflict, obviously, I'm gonna choose that over reproduction rights.
We mentioned yesterday, on
It's
Monday.
it's a lot of bitches in
about
here. There's a lot of
the-
niggas in here.
The majority of
Slow
votes.
down on the fucking.
Just be safe,
So
be careful.
we mentioned on Monday, right, the prediction of who they're gonna vote for.
Yeah.
And we mentioned women's are gonna vote for Kamala.
Yeah.
And it's on display right now what's gonna happen because this is the population, bro. They're gonna vote off of feelings of how they feel about abortion, and as a result, who are they gonna vote for?
Okay, but at the same time, I also refer to the fact if one of us, anyone, specifically women, if I'm in a room with Trump alone and I'm in a room with Kamala alone, guess what I'm gonna feel safer
What are you saying
with?
right now?
Kamala.
But she's biting.
I'm not gonna lie. I see Kamala like Oprah. I'm
But
scared
dude,
either way.
I'm not saying they're
doing that
amazing
Here's-
people.
here's why
But
it's-
that's also, I want you to
Right,
understand
right.
that women are specifically looking for security.
But here's
And
the-
if they don't
here's the
feel
issue.
like
Yeah, yeah.
security is
I told
found
you.
within a
But
candidate,
woman,
then
woman
they're
will
not
set
gonna
you
vote
up
for
before a
them.
man will. A man will let you know
here's
what
the
is going
problem with
on.
this way of
Exactly.
thinking. Here's the problem with this way of thinking. It's a very uneducated way of thinking. I'll tell you why.
Why is it? Because I find that it's sexist.
Because as an educated young person, or I don't know how old you are, but as an educated adult, your approach should not be personal. It shouldn't be, do I like this person
Why?
personally more?
Why?
Because they are figureheads and faces that represent systems, that
Thank you.
represent
But
impersonal
we
institutions.
all have a personal vested interest in politics.
You should regard Kamala and Trump, if you want, for that matter. Imagine it's the same thing, but they're just robots. It's just a figurehead. It's not personal.
Exactly.
They
100%.
represent
They're
something
puppets.
impersonal. So you should focus on the details of what interests that they represent, what forces they represent, and what direction they're going to take the country in. You shouldn't focus on
Okay,
if
but
I'm
specifically,
in a room
Trump
with
is
them
going
alone.
to take the United
This is
States
not-
country into a
this
more
is not-
right section,
What's
more
your name? What's your name?
conservatism.
What's your name?
I don't know. What is it?
What's her name?
Go Tati, tell him, girl.
Tati.
Tatiana.
Tati, listen, this
My
is
name
not
is Tatiana.
Tatiana, this is not American Idol.
Of course it's not American
not-
Idol,
you're not-
but specifically
you don't-
tell me
you don't-
if you
you
vote
don't
for Trump,
treat
you're voting
pop-
for the
don't-
Republican
don't-
Party,
don't-
correct?
don't-
So then the Republican Party is going to have the major rule for 4 years.
Right, but the Democrats have had rule for 4 years and nothing changed.
Damn.
And nothing will change.
Okay, but wasn't Trump just in office?
So what
You
is he
mean
gonna
before
do?
Biden took office?
Yes.
Okay, and what?
And what happened during that time?
It was
you
great.
tell me.
Okay, one of the
Trans
major
people were banned from the military. The executive LGBT.
Oh no! Oh my God!
Passed.
That's the worst.
So y'all
Trans
want
people
women to
banned
be
from the military.
executive, but you can't have transgender people being like drafted. I don't get why that's such a problem. You're like, oh, if
people
women,
from
if men are
Islamic
drafted,
countries
women
were
should be
banned from
drafted. So
entering the United
I'm saying, why
States.
should I-
LGBT people refused health care based on their sexuality.
Why is it bad that transgender people were banned from the
You
military?
missed the other 4 things that I said.
Why
but
should I care
trans
about
people
that?
have every
Because you
right to
asked.
defend their country as anybody else. Why wouldn't you want trans people to defend the country?
Because they're fighting wars that are just leading us down a path of self-destruction, killing millions of people
Whatever
and
the
destroying
fuck
their
that
country.
means.
Doesn't even make sense.
All right, so I'm gonna read the chats real quick.
Any type of
I'm gonna,
relationship, you
ladies,
know?
I'm just gonna read. Can you
How
turn the
can
phones
you
back on?
relate that?
There's no
We
relationship.
can turn the
Human
volume down if it's
beings.
loud.
It's okay.
I'm gonna read the chats real quick, and then we'll come back to this topic with the whole thing, the policies with.
Can I ask her one question real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Tatiana, right?
Tatiana.
Yeah, Tatiana. Would you prefer to be in a forest with Trump or a bear alone?
Would I prefer
bear.
to
To be
be
in a forest with Trump or a bear alone?
a bear?
A bear.
Over Trump.
Yeah.
Yes.
100%.
That's all I need to know.
Yeah, okay. All right. Where we at here? I'm gonna read some of these
Okay.
chats. Okay. What was that, Mo?
Okay, because they're kind of crazy. Let's do our sponsor today,
Yeah, we'll do the sponsor then.
and they head to Rumble.
And then okay. Yeah, let's.
'Cause it is time actually.
Yeah. Okay, so guys, this semester brought to you guys by
Noble Gold.
Noble Gold. Are you worried about the future of the U.S. economy? I definitely am. With so much uncertainty in the air, it's natural to fret about the security of your retirement savings. But there's one asset that stands the test of time: gold. For centuries, gold has been a hedge against market volatility and economic instability. With a gold IRA from Noble Gold Investments, you can harness the power of precious metals to help protect your financial future. By rolling over your existing IRA or 401k into a self-directed gold IRA, you can enjoy the potential for long-term growth and stability. Diversify your portfolio with a tangible asset that has real value. Setting up your gold IRA has never been easier with Noble Gold Investments. Streamlined process and expert guidance. This election year, don't let election volatility and uncertainty keep you up at night. Vote for the timeless safety of gold and silver in 2024. Noble Gold Investments will give you up to 10 1-ounce silver Trump coins or a 10-ounce silver American flag bar if you open a qualified account. Go to noblegoldinvestments.com/fresh now. noblegoldinvestments.com/fresh, man. So go check it out, guys. We did a whole episode with them, by the way, talking about their plans to precious metals. I talked to you guys about being diversified with your portfolio with what you invest in. Can we read some of the chats, or can we have some of them?
I'm not even going to lie. They're all pretty bad.
They're all bad?
Yeah. Let's go.
Oh shit.
Okay.
What does that mean?
All right. Well, let's finish up this conversation here. We'll switch over. We'll stay on a little bit longer. Go ahead, because you guys were talking about or no. Here, look at this.
Well, do the FNF.
I can do the F&F. Okay, ladies, let's say that you're at a bar or some kind of event and a man approaches you. He's confident and smooth, but he tells you he's there by himself. Is it a big deal or is it a weird? Okay, we'll do this one with a raise of hands. You're at a bar, guy's cute and everything, but he tells you he's there by himself. Is that weird or not? Raise of hands if you think it's weird.
Why would that be weird? If he's by himself at a bar? At a bar?
Yeah, at a bar.
Yeah.
Guys
He's
are
there by
by
himself.
themselves at bars all the
All
time
the
trying to
time.
pick up chicks.
Yeah.
That's not weird.
Okay, so
Yeah.
raise of hands. No one thinks that's weird?
I don't think that's
you
weird.
should
He's
be
just having
confident
a
in
good
yourself to walk
time.
alone.
Yeah.
They're just trying to pick up
Yo,
some
you're capping right now.
Really?
Look,
Damn,
no,
guys.
I think men
Hold
should
on.
be able to go out
Hold
and
on.
have a good
You're
time.
at a bar with your friends. Niggas by himself randomly.
Okay.
And he's like, hey, what's going on? You're like, oh, who you here with?
Wait,
Nobody.
okay.
It would
Let me
sound
ask
weird.
you
Just
this.
hanging out and he just came for a
Let
drink.
me ask you this.
to
Are we
meet
talking
girls.
about like a little bar or are we talking about like Live or 11?
A bar.
Just
Let's
a
say we're
regular
going to
dive
Blackbird.
bar?
Let's say we're at
It's
Blackbird.
fine.
And he's by himself.
Yeah, that's fine.
You went to go and
That's
catch a little
fine.
vibe.
You say that now, but I'm sure in person.
Why is that weird though? How is that
Interesting.
weird?
All right.
What
Yo,
if he
Mari.
just wants to meet someone or have a drink that night? You know.
Steve-O says,
Bye.
Yo, Mario, it was great to finally meet you last week at the hotel in Las Vegas, a Mexican restaurant with my wife. Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah, I remember you, bro. Ladies, how many of you want to build/grow with your man? Also, what does that mean to you? I think
do.
every girl here wants to.
I do.
Yeah.
I do.
100%.
I think that's
Build an
very
empire,
important.
baby.
Mhm.
We found good ones.
I mean,
Not just with a man.
My wife, I have, oh, man.
Your
Okay.
partner.
My
whoever
wife
it
and
is.
I met back at 18 in 98. She stayed at my side through every downfall. My wife was at her highest sexual market value, and me and Lois, she was submissive and nurturing from the start. That's building. FYI, ladies, if you're over 24,304 baggage time, you can't build with a
Oh,
man.
if you're 24, yeah.
If you're over 24, okay. True. Ladies, if you abort, is your husband morally justified to divorce you and not pay you alimony, considering that marriage is the building block to family? Serious answers only, please. So, okay, if you're aborted. Okay, so if you abort a baby, can he divorce you? Raise of hands if you guys think yes, it's ground for him to divorce you.
For aborting a baby?
Yes.
If it hurts him that much and he's destroyed by it.
Okay, can we do raise of hands? If you abort the baby, do you guys think he's justified in divorcing you?
I think I just feel like it's too many.
Only-
It's
only
too many.
three.
Because what if he said? What if he? What if you
whole
got pregnant
situation.
and he literally said, "I don't want you to abort the baby"? I would be like, okay, yeah, you should get divorced.
If you agreed beforehand that you would be having kids, I think it's
Chat,
a
the
little
answer
different.
tells you everything you need to know.
A situation.
What if he's abusive or not
Yes,
financially
right there,
responsible?
exactly what you said. If you agree that you're having kids and that you want to grow a family, and then that woman decides that they're gonna abort their
Without
child
even talking to you
without
about
even
it.
talking to you, then yes, 100%. I understand if you
There's
choose
your answers,
divorce.
guys.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
You all are truly retarded. It's actually amazing. Keep it up. And that's from Durag Byron. Okay.
Thanks, Durag Myron.
I've had enough. These chicks are trying to sound intelligent but can't answer simple questions, can't even define emotional intelligence, talking in circles. Y'all think you're so smart. What are 3 primary colors in the color chart? Shout out FNF.
Red, blue, yellow.
Got the ass. Got the ass.
The real Frank Castle says, first time commenting, these 3 or 4s don't understand that they are living in a world that us men
That's
created.
patriarchy, goddammit! Sorry.
I'd love to take one of them and have them wheelbarrow 300 pounds of concrete to see how fast
I
they'll quit.
actually can.
No, deadass.
I would believe that.
Why do you need to do that? I thought you were such a masculine man that you would take care of that.
Wouldn't
Wait,
you do it yourself?
But aren't we equal? You can do that too.
No, we're not
Big Ting's at one.
I can carry it, maybe you
Ladies,
cannot.
let me just get through this. Big Ting says, by the way, it's why women absolutely should not be in control of anything as far as rulership is concerned. Just from this conversation here and the fact that they keep contradicting everything they say is a prime example. Females are full of chaos. Holy. All right.
We're beautiful chaos.
Captain Snuggle says, yo, these chicks are retarded. They would rather both allow for the murder of babies and send new dudes off to their death than relinquish reproductive rights and try to use shit arguments to justify it. Brainless bullshit.